How's it going, my peeps? It is now time for the Raw review for tonight's show. I'll go over the results, highlights, and give you guys my review, my thoughts on the show. So the show kicks off with CM Punk sitting on a steel chair in the middle of the ring with Paul Heyman with a microphone. Paul Heyman starts doing the talking, talks about last week's match where CM Punk's foot was on the ropes, but the new referee didn't see that, and how they're mad at that, and blah blah blah. They call out the referee, he comes out, they tell him to apologize and resign. So he apologizes, but then when it comes to resigning, he says he doesn't think that's appropriate, and then CM Punk gets mad. He starts bashing him, and this goes on for a little while until AJ comes out. When she comes out, she kind of talks for a short while until CM Punk brings up the fact that the only reason she's, I guess, mad at him or, has something against him is because she tried to marry him and he said no. He shows the footage. And then actually Paul Heyman, out of nowhere, he decides to ask AJ to marry him. He gets on his knees and asks her to marry him. She slaps him and then she leaves. Kind of a weird segment. Afterwards, I think you have a commercial break or whatever. When we come back, you have AJ backstage with the actual referee, and she tells him not to make the same mistake again because he embarrassed her, and she kind of, gets mad. And then skip to our first match, Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston, and Kofi actually came out with R-Truth, so R-Truth and Vicky were there, and they're, at ringside not actually competing, so Vicky Guerrero kind of makes fun of little Jimmy next to the announcer's table, so R-Truth argues with her for a while, which brings Dolph Ziggler to defend Vicky and Kofi to defend R-Truth. And then R-Truth has some popcorn with him and a soda or something, some type of drink. So Kofi, for some reason, he just slaps the drink out of Truth's hand, so the drink goes into Vicky's face. And then, Vicky gets mad. Referee ends up kicking out R-Truth and Vicky out of ringside and sends them backstage. Now to the matchup. It was a very entertaining matchup between the two and lots of near falls. Actually at 2 points in the matchup I thought maybe R-Truth was going to win this, since at some point he hit the SOS. I thought he was going to get the 3 count there, but he didn't. And then at some other point he hit like a crossbody from the top rope, a jumping crossbody from the top rope. I thought that might have ended the matchup, but no, Dolph Ziggler wins with the zigzag. But yeah, good match to kick off the show, although it didn't really kick off the show, but it was the first match on the show though, so yeah, whatever, it was a good match. But anyways, afterwards you had them hyping up John Cena talking tonight about his injury, I guess, or giving us an update. And then we have one of those anger management segments with Dr. Shelby, I think that is? Yeah, the anger management guy with Daniel Bryan. They're in the restaurant, and he tells Daniel Bryan he has like this new plan to make them get along, and it's by role-playing. And then you have Kane dressed as a waiter. He comes up to them and he wants to take Daniel Bryan's order. So Daniel says he wants some vegetables or something like that. I don't remember, but it's something relating to vegetables. And he also asks for a tag team partner that isn't a sick 7-foot freak. And then Kane says this is stupid, blah blah blah. Eventually Kane starts talking about what he did to the chef, to the cook. He says he was annoying, so he put his head in the frying pan, and that he cut his beard or something like that, or tore off his beard, the cook's beard, and put it in everybody's food. And then you see, some of the customers kind of, wanting to throw up. And, basically it was a pretty funny segment. And afterwards, you had the primetime players in the ring after commercial break, facing off against Santino, Marella, and Zack Ryder in a tag team match, which of course the primetime players end up winning. And then they hype up a special guest, that they've got a special guest and it's up next. That special guest ends up being Mick Foley. He comes out, starts talking about CM Punk and how he's changed, and then CM Punk comes out, says, if you want to say something about me, say it to my face. It's a pretty good segment between Mick Foley and CM Punk. To put it shortly, in the end, Mick Foley tells him that tonight he's going to get the choice to accept Cena's challenge at Hell in a Cell. So it looks like John Cena is going to be able to wrestle at Hell in a Cell for a match against CM Punk. After that segment, they hype up Ryback versus The Miz up next. So moving on to Ryback versus The Miz, it's an non-title match. And despite that, I was expecting maybe a no contest, a disqualification, count-out, something like that. But actually, Ryback just won the match clean. The Miz, did get some offense in, did kick Ryback a few times in the head and then hit his DDT on him. But Ryback wins with his finisher. And after that, we get another hilarious Daniel Bryan and Kane segments. And this one, they're like, they're talking, they're both eating. And Daniel Bryan tells Kane it's too bad that they can't be friends. Last week on SmackDown, they just destroyed 8 guys, the whole tag team division with steel chairs. And then they kind of, reimagine what they did. And Kane's like, yeah, we'd hit them with the chair, and one guy would be like, ah, and the other guy would be like, ah, and then Daniel Bryan, started screaming, yes, 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 yes. It was just a funny segment. And you actually had an appearance from Mae Young in the segment. Then after that, we get a backstage segment with AJ and the referees. She basically apologizes to referees. And then Del Rio, David Otunga, and Ricardo come up to her. And she books them in a 6-man tag team match. It's going to be Sheamus, Cara, and Rey Mysterio versus Del Rio, David Otunga, and Ricardo. The reasoning for that match is for them, I guess, to get their revenge or get payback or redeem themselves for, all of them getting bro kicked all the time. And then we have Wade Barrett versus Tyson Kidd. Pretty quick match where Wade Barrett wins with his elbow finisher, which he now calls the souvenir. And then we get Michael Cole interviewing Jerry the King Lawler from his home in Memphis. Well, Michael Cole is in the ring while, Jerry the King Lawler is live via satellite. So, they talk about the heart attack and stuff like that. Jerry the King Lawler, pretty much, he's fine, apart from like a raspy voice. And he says as soon as the doctors clear him, he's gonna come back, on commentary. And then we get another Kane and Daniel Bryan segment. They're still in the restaurant. This time Dr. Shelby tells them he has like this one last thing where they both, I guess, walk in the other's shoes or something like that. He gives Kane a plate of salad and gives Daniel Bryan a plate of pasta and meatballs. And he wants them both to take a bite of that food. So Kane takes a bite. First he smells the lettuce and then takes a bite of that. And Daniel Bryan takes a small bite of the meatball. And then Dr. Shelby asks Kane, how did that feel? Kane just burps. It was obvious it was a big fake burp. Just sound put in or whatever. And then Daniel Bryan, he says it wasn't as bad as he thought, and then looks like he's about to throw up, and Dr. Shelby, attempting to prevent Daniel Bryan from throwing up, starts chanting, no, 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 but Daniel Bryan throws up in Dr. Shelby's lap. And then it's time for the Raw active parts of the night, where we get to choose the name of the Kane and Daniel Bryan tag team. The choices are Team Friendship, Team Hell No, and Team Teamwork. So then Daniel Bryan comes out, followed by Kane, to determine which of those names won. And actually, Team Hell No wins. I was rooting for Team Friendship, but I guess the people prefer Team Hell No. I guess Hell, representing Kane, and obviously the No representing Daniel Bryan. And then, out of nowhere, Damien Sandow and Cody come from behind and attack Daniel Bryan and Kane. They then get on the microphone and say that they're going to be the new tag team champions and that their team name is the Rhodes Scholars. After that, we get our Divas match of the night. It's Layla teaming up with Alicia Fox. What's with Alicia Fox? I don't get it. She's like heel one week, the other week she's a face. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like TNA, like about a year back or two, when they had these constant heel and face turns. But anyways, yeah, Layla and Alicia Fox versus Eve and Beth Phoenix in a tag team match. The team of Eve and Beth Phoenix win when Eve pins Alicia Fox. After the match, Caitlyn comes out and she has this crutch and she says, she has the security footage or whatever of her attacker at Night of Champions, and while she couldn't see the attacker's face, she could see, because they were masked, she could see their hair, and their hair was blonde. So automatically Eve like accuses Beth Phoenix, and then Beth Phoenix is all like, no, it's not me, blah blah blah. And then when Beth Phoenix turns around, Eve hits her with her finisher. So we still don't know who attacked Caitlyn, but you know, Caitlyn now says that she was a blonde. So maybe it's Kelly Kelly, maybe it's Beth Phoenix, maybe it's Layla turning heel but just wearing a blonde wig just in case to conceal her identity, I don't know. But anyways, after that we get Brodus Clay versus Tensai, and Big Show interferes, so Big Show comes back, and he knocks out Tensai, and then Brodus charges the Big Show, but also gets knocked out by the Big Show. And then you get your main event, or the end segment, which is John Cena coming out talking about his injury and stuff. So he comes out, he talks for a short while until CM Punk comes out. CM Punk basically says that he doesn't accept Cena's challenge. He's not going to face him at Hell in a Cell. One of the reasons being that John Cena gets way too many title shots, and it's not fair to the other guys in the back. Towards the end, CM Punk says he's going to turn around, and he's going to count till 5. And John Cena has till 5 to get out of the ring and leave, so CM Punk does not beat him up. Especially since John Cena is a one-handed man now with his injury. So he turns around, he counts till 5. While he does that, during the count, John Cena pulls out a lead pipe from his pocket, from the pocket of his jeans. CM Punk turns around, he's about to attack John Cena, sees the lead pipe, John Cena hits him with it in the gut, and then CM Punk just gets out of the ring. And then we see CM Punk backstage, and he runs into Mick Foley. And they look at each other for like a split second, and then CM Punk moves on, and Mick Foley keeps talking to this one guy, and then CM Punk turns back around and goes up to Mick Foley and kicks him in the gut, and then he leaves once again, but then it looks like he's gonna come back to, I guess, keep attacking him. But once he turns around to go back to Mick Foley and attack him once again, he finds Ryback there now. Well, first off, you see CM Punk just like looking shocked and not doing anything, and then you finally see Ryback there just staring CM Punk down backstage. So yeah, this is confusing now. What's gonna happen at Hell in a Cell? I mean, CM Punk's now, in this show alone, he's been involved with Foley, John Cena, and now Ryback. So maybe a 4-way at Hell in a Cell? I'm not sure. Or probably just John Cena versus CM Punk 1-on-1. I don't know what's with the Ryback thing at the end. I didn't expect that. But anyways, as far as the whole show today, I thought it was a good show. It was an entertaining show. It kind of felt too long for me though, these, the 3 hours. Maybe it's because towards the end or something like that, I kind of had a headache, so maybe that's why it felt long. But overall, I like the show. Good Raw tonight, and now this keeps you wondering what's gonna happen at Hell in a Cell, or what's gonna happen next week. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, as always, you can click that like button. With that said, I'm out. See ya.